Welcome to UTV Hitchworks, home of the farm boy. In this video, we will demonstrate the proper installation of the power unit, selector valve, and SnowMax. First, mount the power unit at the location shown using the two existing screws. The hood stop may need to be bent around the power unit as shown to allow the hood to close. Next, connect the ground wire for the power unit. The paint may need to be scuffed up in order to create a good ground connection. We use one of the hood mounting hinges for our ground connection. Then, route the red battery cable from the power unit back to the battery. The panel underneath the vehicle may need to be removed to complete this step. Be sure to neatly zip tie the battery cable away from any moving parts. Following this, connect the power unit switch to the orange fused wire. Next, mount the switch at one of the pop-out locations on the dash. Here is a possible location. Once the power unit is fully installed, mount the selector valve onto the passenger side hood mounting hinge using existing bolts. Then, run the hydraulic lines from the power unit to the supply ports of the selector valve, taking the lines behind the valve. Make sure that the supply ports on the selector valve are oriented to the angles shown. Connect the ground wire for the selector valve. Again, the paint may need to be scuffed up in order to create a good ground connection. Following this, connect the selector valve switch to the orange fused wire. Then, mount the switch at the knockout location of your choice. The completed installation of the power unit and selector valve should look like this. In order to install the SnowMax, these 6 bolts, 3 on either side of the receiver hitch, may need to be loosened approximately 3/16 of an inch. Next, install the side brackets for the plow. These mount on either side of the receiver hitch as shown. Make sure to install them loosely at this time. They will be tightened at a later point. Once both brackets are on, slide the receiver mounting bracket into the receiver hitch as shown. Be sure to line up the brackets with the receiver mounting bracket. Also, make sure the upper split clamps align with the front bumper of the vehicle as shown. If everything lines up, tighten the lower brackets and the upper split clamps, as well as the 6 bolts located next to the receiver hitch. If adjustments are needed, make the adjustments before tightening the brackets. Next, attach the tongue bracket to the receiver hitch mount. Simply slide the pins on either side of the tongue bracket through the ball ends of the receiver hitch mount. Place the top link in the lower hole in the bracket on the plow tongue and the cylinder in the upper hole in the bracket, and insert the 3/4 inch pins provided. You may need to change which hole is used for the cylinder on the receiver hitch mount due to variations in ground clearance between vehicles. Route the hydraulic lines from the SnowMax to the selector valve by going behind the brush guard as shown. Attach the hydraulic lines from the SnowMax to the quick couplers on the selector valve. Be sure to match the colors of the quick couplers when attaching the lines. Before operating the power unit, be sure to fill it with approximately 1 quart of hydraulic fluid. Add roughly half a quart to start and then run one cylinder of the plow back and forth to purge the air. Once the air is fully purged from one cylinder, repeat this process with the other. If bubbles appear in the reservoir, stop and let the fluid settle before continuing to purge the air. The finished installation of the SnowMax should look like this. If you have any questions or would like to see more of our products, please visit us at utvhitchworks.com.